Now, I'm not a master catfisherman or a trophy catfisherman or an expert or anything like that. You know, I've caught a few catfish. I've caught some decent ones the last couple of years and learned a little bit, but thought I might kind of relay a little bit of information to you there. Now, we fish right here on Fort Loudon Lake, or Fort Loudon Reservoir here in Tennessee. It is on the Tennessee River, and it's just right here south of Knoxville. So that's where we fish at. So he's got a little bit of a reputation for some decent catfish. People come around from different parts of the country because of some YouTubers that got kind of famous catching catfish out of this reservoir. People come from all over to experience the nice catfishing here on Fort Loudon Reservoir. So and it is good. It is decent fishing. So here's the thing. It's really not that difficult. I know sometimes, you know, you may watch these guys doing the trophy catfishing with their boats all decked out and you know, everything really specific how they rig things up, and particularly when you get into the boat stuff with the planer boards and, you know, all the different line selections, and, you know, you're dealing with current. I mean, it can get pretty complicated, you know. I mean, you really, at that level, that's, you know, that's some advanced stuff. Here's the reality. Most people will never go to that level of catfishing. Most people don't even want to go to that level. They want to go out and be able to have a legitimate chance to catch some decent catfish, maybe some big ones. And you can do that without all of the, you know, advanced techniques that you may see some of these other YouTubers using. So you may want to advance your techniques at some point, but basically from the bank you can keep it fairly simple and have a great chance of catching some really big fish. And if you want to increase your odds, here's what I would focus on is yeah, it does take a little bit more work to do this, but that's catching your own bait. Whether you can catch your own skipjack and use that for bait, or if you have a cast net, a throw net, and you can use that to catch some gizzard shad, small gizzard shad or threadfin shad. If you can get that bait, you're going to be golden. That's going to give you the best opportunity to catch a lot of fish. I've experienced it out here on Fort Loudon certain times a year, like right now in the spring and all through the summer, all through the fall. You throw a gizzard shad on a hook and throw it out on bottom, and it ain't going to be long before something's going to come along and gobble it up. It may be a big catfish, it may be a big striped bass, it may be a largemouth bass, but something's going to come along and gobble up that shad. So that's why I say, if you can, you know, try to use the natural bait that's in your particular reservoir. Go catch some shad and use that as a next choice. You could catch yourself some brim or bluegill on line and hook, and then you can use those brim, bluegill as cut bait, and they'll work great as well. So in a nutshell, all I did was for some of the most successful catfishing I had recently, this past fall and into the winter, was catching some of those shad in my cast net, throw it out there, get me a little bucket of them little gizzard and threadfin shad, and then throw out on bottom 2 or 3 rods with those little shad. Sometimes you have to bulk it up, put 2 or 3, 4 or 5 of them little shad on one big hook and throw it out there, and friends, it ain't going to be long before something comes along and gobbles it up. So watch your rod. Big Blue comes along and he's going to jerk that rod out in the water, so have them anchored down and ready to go. But catfishing is really not that difficult, and there's some big monsters out there. You just have to be a little bit patient and look around and find some spots that might give you access to deeper water, strategic little spots where they will hang out at certain times of the day, and you will get on them.